doers for the innovation. So that may be one of the takeaway from this session. With this note, I'd like to end this session and move forward to our next session, that is Industry Academia. And for that session, we have our moderator, Dr. Mamunur Rashid. So I'd like to hand over to Dr. Mamunur Rashid. Thank you. Dr. Mamunur Rashid.
Yes, okay. I show the panelist first. This is the panelist from the industry. MD Harun Rashid, CP Bangladesh Company Limited, Engineer Zakir Hussain, Real Estate Company, Tanjilur Rahman, Incepta Pharma, Engineer Abu Tahir, Quiltex Technologies Limited, and Sheikh Didarul Alam, DK Company S. And our academia side, Professor Dr. Samsuddin Ahmed, IUT, Professor Sharifullah Kitami, Institute of Technology, Japan, Professor Dr. Mosharraf Hussain Ruet, Professor Dr. Sarah Morshed, Asamullah University, Science and Technology, Professor MD Haidar Ali Bishas, Khulna University, and Dr. ARM Harun Rashid, IUT, and Mamun Mustafa, my colleague, BIM. I am now panelist. First, I introduce to talk the Harun Rashid from the panelist. Harun Rashid, are you present? Harun Rashid? Or any, and then Zakir Hussain. Zakir Hussain? Zakir Hussain? No present here.
Zakir Hussain, he was there a little while ago. So Zakir Hussain is there.
Or Tanjilur Rahman?
Sir, present, sir.
Please address your industry side problem, prospect, opportunity, please.
So, thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. I am Tanzilur Rahman. I am working as a production pharmacist in Incepta Pharmaceuticals Limited. So, I have been working with Incepta since 2012. So, working in this industry over 9 years, more than 9 years. I have seen lots of prospects. Currently, pharma industry in Bangladesh is one of the biggest prospect after ready-made garments, that in case of exports and also for the local requirements. So first of all, I would like to say the opportunities we currently have in export market. As in Bangladesh, we generally manufacture the generic products, and one of my company, Incepta Pharmaceuticals Limited, is one of the biggest generic giant in Bangladesh. They have, as we are discussing about innovation, so we have launched 600 plus first time in Bangladesh product in Bangladesh with a goal that to reduce the cost of medicines for our local people and for the local consumption. So currently we manufacture about more than 1,030 products, and mainly we prepare the generic products from the big innovator giants so that we can bring the products to the Bangladeshi people as well as export them at a lower cost to bring in good medicines for everyone. For this reason, the prospect of Bangladeshi farmers for export market is very high, because as we have relatively lower rate of human manpower, and also the energy consumption and energy related price is lower related to any European companies. the product price can be lower than than any other European and maybe American companies. But if we look closely with our neighbor countries like India and China, due to their innovation and their productivity, in that case we can say we can compete, but we are lacking behind a bit among them. So after working for more than 9 years, mainly there are lots of issues and problems that I faced, but today I just want to discuss about 3 major problems that I think is becoming a hurdle in our growth. First problem that I want to discuss, that is the lack of innovation for raw material research purpose. Currently in Bangladesh, we manufacture almost all type of generic products around the world, including, you say, antibiotics, you say biosimilars, anti-cancer, everything. But we import about 98% raw materials from other countries because we are unable to produce in-house or raw materials in-house. Currently, with all the big pharma companies, our government has started a project for raw material manufacturing. So this is still an initial phase, and this problem was seriously identified during the COVID-19 pandemic situation, when the supply chain throughout the whole world was distorted due to COVID. During that period, all the farmers in Bangladesh try to manufacture the drugs required for COVID-19 treatment and support, but we were unable to provide almost we were unable to provide to capture 100%. Some products we still needed to import due to shortage of raw material, and after that, currently still we are facing that problem as the raw materials is readily not available in Bangladesh. Second issue problem that I think we face, that is lack of expert personnel due to training and development. In all the farmers around Bangladesh, there is a training program, there is a development program for personnel, but still, if you think from my perspective, I think that training and development program is still not adequate, considering the criticality of the product and the new innovation coming through, like new technologies, new machineries, new molecules. So for this reason, our people just work, but still their development has been very short due to this training, and also we lack in expert personnel in this industry. So this also needs to be focused from every corners of the industry. And another major problem of the 3 is, I think, the transition from analog reporting and data collection to the information technology like MIS systems. See, currently more than 300 pharmaceutical limits are operating in Bangladesh, but maybe in top 20 to 25 companies uses softwares like SAP and ERP softwares. And rest of the mid-level pharma and smaller pharma, they still keeps their data in still analog version. The heavy investments required to implement this kind of softwares, I think, is the main hurdle in Bangladesh, because and if you implement, still we lack in expert personnel to operate this kind of software and you troubleshoot day-to-day basis problems. And in this case, if you look at our neighbor country, India, we are really dependent on India. If you implement SAP system in the industry or your in an industry, our main support system is still on hand of India. So any day-to-day trouble, if our local personnel are not able to solve, we have to go for India. So this part we also need to develop, because technology and information technology is the burning issue in today's world, and data is the main source of resources that you need for any kind of productivity. If you ask for productivity, or if you ask for the historical data analysis, or if you ask for any kind of investigation. And without considering this, I think if we, with the help of all the industries, big players, and with the help of our government, if we look in this kind of issues, I think the innovation and technology implementation will be more efficient. And I think the sector, pharma sector in Bangladesh will rise as a global sector in the world. Thank you, sir.
Now I would like to address this problem, my Professor Sharifullah. Please, sir.
Thank you so much. Actually, I think we could get a real picture of pharmaceutical industry. There are some lack of expertise from pharmaceutical side, and there are some lack of expertise in what do you call infrastructure from data management side. So I think gentleman has clearly mentioned the real problem. So I would like to ask one question. How many of your top management actually know the floor level problem?
Sir, if you ask, in my company, we always have a practice for quality review meeting. That is a monthly meeting done from the floor level to mid level up to the higher mid level management. And there is a management review meeting every 3 months that is done up to the top management with chairman and vice chairman. And this is one of the requirement that has been raised from our regulatory authorities like ISO, WHO, UK MHRA, FDA, that at least there is a summary or abstract that has to be known from the floor level to the top management. So the issues can be addressed, and the quality governance is not only the part from the floor, the quality governance should be from the top management.
Okay, I understand. The question I ask you, for example, you start as a junior engineer. Will you
Yes.
become a board member after, say, 20 years?
Board member will be difficult, but up to paid director can be an option.
Okay, so if you increase those numbers, you don't have to go to India. This is what Japan has achieved.
Okay.
In Japan, you start become, we call it Hirashai. You become the lowest level officer, and you will become a board member. And it doesn't matter which university you are from. So the manager at the top actually knows what's going on in the factory. It's not only the review meeting.
Okay, sir.
So if you could implement this, you don't have to go to India. I can guarantee. By 10 years, Bangladesh will become one of the largest exporter of medicines.
Okay,
So
sir.
human resource structuring, it's actually we inherit from our I don't know from where, but this is a big problem that I see.
Okay, sir. Now I request to address the problem. Engineer Abu Taher, Buildtex Technologies Limited. Please address your industry problem.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.
Sir, this is Mohammad Abu Taher. I'm basically civil engineer from Duet. I passed the BSc engineer 2014, and then I involved in construction side. I work as a local company and foreign company also. Say power plant in 2016 to 2019, Shirajganj power plant. Basically, I work on the construction project and issue on the safety. In safety, I found the Bangladeshi people are not aware in safety. The safety policy. That's why many accidents occur in construction site. And on other hand, in the multinational company, same worker and labor are work in the same position, but they follow the safety norm, safety policy. But in the local company, don't follow safety procedure and safety policy. That's why the problem in construction site. So how in this in that portion, how can we improve the safety policy? And other sector in construction site, I saw the mega project or other big project. Bangladesh people, but Bangladesh engineer have no expertise. I saw we have to depend on foreign construction company, foreign expertise, foreign consultancy. So how we experience, how we involve our local engineer to improve our construction site. Say we complete almost complete Podda bridge and running on material. Next time we have to construct another big bridge or another material or another power plant. So how we improve our technical knowledge and capability. So I just request our sir to explain this particular questions.
Now I would like to address this question. Our IUM Society Chairman and Professor M. Sarwar Morshed, he now joined. Please address this question.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rashid. And I'd like to thank all of you, particularly Sharifullah and our colleagues and all the participants here. Nice to meet you. I'm a bit late here anyway. I'm just traveling yesterday to UK. Abu Tahir, yeah, Mr. Abu Tahir, you put the right question, worker safety and then construction safety is quite a vast area to be considered. If you do the construction, either is a small construction or a large construction, nowadays, most of the construction industries, they have to follow the rules. If you go around the Dhaka city, you will find that most of these places, you have to display what you're going to do. And not many accidents happening in Dhaka during the construction, unless otherwise there is some local area where they build some buildings. We can see normally, this close to the canal or close to the, the pond. Normally they do not do the construction things. So there are some accidents. After the Rana Plaza, as you know, the Rana Plaza, there is an accident. This accident was not due to the vibration. This accident happened only due to there is a problem with the soil. The building they constructed, one of the pillar, one of the, the piling was not right. That's the main reason for the whole, the disaster. People saying that there is a vibration there and this and that one. That is not the reality. It has been experimented. If you also said that there is a Podda bridge, metro rails, all the power plants. Nowadays in Bangladesh, we follow the rules and regulation for the health and safety or for the construction safety. We seriously maintain this one. You said that all the international companies, they do it. Obviously, yes, we do. We have to follow the rules and regulation for health and safety for international, both locally. We have the rules and regulation. I think that we have people from the industries here as well. We have the rules by constitution. It's written there. We have the laws, the statutes, and everything. So in local, like small companies, they try to avoid something if they can. So this tendency has to be removed from the construction company by training them. It's not going in a day. It will take some time to everyone understand the safety is not for the company. Safety is not for the people. Safety is for yourself. Those people that are working there, safety is for them first. Safety first, then you start your work. So whatever the level you're working, we are working, or anyone is working, we have to follow the safety first, and we have to follow the safety rules to address all these issues. And you see the worker safety. Normally, the company shouldn't put the worker in a position where his safety is a concern. Like I work for the industries, we work for the industries, everyone. So we go to the industries, we check, we find any problem, we analyze the risk, and the risk has to be assessed periodically, and the safety rules has to be there. So in that way, we can minimize the risk of accidents. So some accident you can see immediately, some accident is coming days. So all sort of has to be considered. I just need to answer one of the questions from the Tanjilur that has been answered by the Sharifullah. I was missing that question actually. The pharmaceuticals industries in Bangladesh, you consider criticality, training, and everything. I'll just answer this one. During the COVID, that this COVID period, there's plenty of changes. Someone was saying that the 140,000 Chinese skilled engineer coming to Bangladesh, they're working there. 8,000 Indian skilled engineer coming last month to Bangladesh to work there. So you cannot avoid the skills. We need the skilled people to do the job. We have more than 50% people in Bangladesh under 25. So we have a huge population. We have to skill them up. In this way, we can reduce the shortage of the people. Someone is supervising us. You say India is supervising us. That's not the issue. If we improve our skills, what Sharifullah says that if we improve our skills and knowledge, and we are able to do the work and solve the critical problems or complex problems, inshallah, we'll be fine in the near future. And for pharmaceutical industries, there are many things you have to consider. There are many barriers. There are many risks. We have to identify. This is the question to the Tanjilur Rahman. He says the supply chain of the pharmaceutical industry. That is very critical for the last 2 years. It's not only for Bangladesh, that is true for the whole world. We have a publication on this, particularly his area, pharmaceutical industry, supply chain disruption during the pandemic. We try to identify which barrier is making most impact on the industry and how to mitigate this one. If you need more information, we can have a discussion later on. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to discuss this one. Thank you.
Now I would like to address the problem. Sheikh Didarul Alam. Sheikh Didarul Alam present there? Sheikh Didarul Alam? Or Harun Rashid? Or Zakir Hussain? Any present there? Maybe absent. Anybody can question industry problem. Anybody, open floor, please. Open floor now. Any question you can from industry. Now floor open. Please.
If no one got a question, I can discuss something if you allow me to do.
Please discuss or short. Our Indian speaker already joined. Please, only 5 minutes.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. The reason, you say the industry problems. Industry problem is always there. That we have the academia. We are sitting in the different places than industry. I believe that we should have a collaboration between the academia and industry to resolve and to solve many of these problems which we are discussing today. We are always trying to contact with the industry. If they have any problem, we can go to them. Otherwise, they can come to the the universities and the faculties to solve their problems. We are always open. We try to make a platform where the industry academia can collaborate from now on to the future. We are running conferences, and we have the co-located programs on Industry 4 and beyond, that is on industrial exhibition, and then we will make a platform from that point, industry academia collaboration, which will be supported by the UGC and the Bangladesh government. Many of these ministries are working with us. So we look forward to all of you to help us, and anyone have any questions how you can join to these awarding programs and industry academia collaboration, we can have a discussion. Anyone can have any ideas how we can collaborate?
Dr. Mamunar Rashid, I have a quick question. Can I ask?
Yeah, I think
Dr.
please,
Mamunar Rashid, I
Dr.
have a quick question. Can I ask?
Yes, please, Dr. Razi, please.
Yes, you are welcome.
So he's
From
from USA, so and it's, executive director of IM Society. So.
So I have a question for in USA, all program has an industrial advisory board. I'm not sure in Bangladesh, in all program has any industry advisory board or not, like Professor Morshed. Like any,
give
do you have any
answer.
industrial advisory board
Yes.
for your mechanical and industrial program?
Yes, I can give the answer that way. Okay, we are maintaining the industrial advisory board, and we are in communication with them. We talk with them for any issue with the industries, also in the course curriculum development and upgradation. So we have two boards. One is for the mechanical engineering, other one is for the industrial and production engineering. Very strong board of the industrial advisory panels. We take suggestion how to improve the courses and how to deliver the curriculum and how to design the curriculum. So I have experiencing this one for the last 3-5 years we have. But nowadays, UGC and the BASE, those accredited programs, they are advising all these universities, all the programs to have this board. Otherwise, they do not accredit your degrees. So there is a restriction from the, the body as well. So
I think previously we did not have in all universities. That's good that UGC is implementing that.
Yeah, I'd like to add on that as Professor Sarwan mentioned, as per UGC and the BAIT criteria fulfillment. So in IUT, we have just formed the advisory board, industry advisory board for mechanical and production department.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I think that's the good, and for industrial engineering, so you can try to promote that. That's industry collaboration. Is because all of my undergraduate students, they do their senior design project, they go industry and solve their problem. So they don't just they don't just do a hypothetical problem and solve it. They just go industry, use the Lean Six Sigma technique or the supply chain, logistics, operation research, simulation. They just go and solve industry problem. That's their senior design project. I think in Bangladesh, for industrial engineering program, easily we can do that kind of thing.
Yes, our program is accredited by the BASE. And also nowadays, Bangladesh government has formed the national qualification framework that has been enacted in the law. Now, all the programs in Bangladesh, they have to be in OBE based, and they have to follow all the rules and regulations. So there is no escape route from the primary to the tertiary levels and above. So the rules in there is in the process of integrating all these educational sectors in Bangladesh into this framework. And UGC, this is a part of the government agencies, or we can say commissions, working separately from the UGC. So it is there, it's coming up now.
I have seen in the industrial engineering department of Kingswood University, there the industrial advisory committee is strong. They are meet the industry student time to time. So this type of advisory committees also need our graduation program, Asanullah, Buet, everywhere. But no any website I show this type of advisory committee, any linkage of industry to academia. but I
Yes,
seen
I
in
think
the
that committee should be published online. Yes.
published online.
Yes, Dr. Mamun Rashid, our committee is public. Our committee is known to everyone else. In all the programs, we give the details to the agencies. I mean the government and then non-government agencies, and we invite them. I think you are also part of this committee, as you know that. So we invite you for the industrial production engineering committee. You are also the member of this one. I invited in the last 2-3 times to you to join there. So we have a 38 members committee. We always have 20-25 always there in the meeting. So anyway,
Okay.
we are updating this one.
Now I would like to close the Industry Academia meeting. Thanks to all. Now I would like to our speaker from India, Vinod Shankaran.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, all.
I also introduce you, and also the this is the share. This is the profile share. This is the profile of Vinod Shankaran. Vinod Shankaran is an independent trainer and facilitator of Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt, Green Belt, and Black Belt. He has 30 years of the experience in various industries as head operation and head quality. He has established his skill in executing many projects in Six Sigma and Lean manufacturing, and instrumental in improving the quality and business excellence in corporate world. He trained Six Sigma methodology to many people and done hand holding to complete the project in manufacturing industries or service industries, etc. He is a bachelor in mechanical engineering with postgraduate diploma in quality management. He is a certified Lean Sigma Black Belt holder from ASQ, American Society of Quality, and Master Black Belt from ISI UN. He conducted webinars on different topics, including statistical quality awareness, Six Sigma, problem solving, quality management system, to leading institutions in India and abroad. This time maybe 3 or more times he attended our PIM program. Welcome to your lecture.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for introducing me. Good evening, all. So today, shall I share my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, today I am going to discuss about human error prevention. Though it is a little big topic, but I'll try to put it in a very concise way because of the time limitation. Hope everybody is able to see my screen, right?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay now.
It's visible, yes.
Yeah, it's okay. So this human error prevention, or this is also called error proofing or mistake proofing, it is actually a part of Lean Six Sigma. We know that there are different kind of ways. So defects are also a kind of waste, which can create a lot of safety issues, or it can create a lot of scrap in the industry, or it can make a difficult time for the end user or the customer. So many times when you look into error or a defect, and when you are going to look at the root cause of the problem, many times it is leading to a human, especially in the industry where the laborers are working more, where it is more labor oriented industry, like wiring harness industry or textile industry, many industries where the labor content is more, there you can identify this kind of mistakes. And many times when we look into the root cause of a particular defect or defective, we can see that people say that, you know, there is a new manpower, new associate or operator was working on that particular machine, or people say that a unskilled operator was working on the machine, or they will say that, you know, it was done, this particular operation was done in the night shift. So the night shift people were not in a fully conscious because of the sleepiness or fatigue. So all things, many times this is leading towards a operator or a human associated errors. So this particular methodology is actually looking into how we can eliminate, or how we can mitigate, or how we can minimize those kind of errors. So this is some of the reasons for human error, like speed working. So some production engineer is telling them to, you know, shift engineer is telling them to do, you know, you have to finish your job very fast. They will keep on working very fast, and then, you know, they will start making mistakes, messing around. Somebody is not following the standard operating procedure. They are not following. People are fatigued, as I said, in the night shift, or, you know, towards the end of the shift, people will be very tired. Disregarding safety, it is very common that, you know, you will find that if people don't follow the safety rules, they start bypassing. And then there is another reason is there could be so many reasons. I have just put a few only. Poor training. People are not trained properly. A new methodology has come into the system, and people are not trained for that, and they are directly start working on that. And these are some of the reasons why this human error, which are the causes for human error. So when it should be done, when a minor error, many times it becomes a major error in the subsequent process, or a next process, or at the customer or the client's end, it becomes a minor assembly error by an operator, or a operator has done a minor mistake in doing assembly, which many times it can explode, and it can create a big mess. And because of that, so many recalls happen from the market. So many things can happen because of that. And when consequent error are very expensive or dangerous, it's safety related, or so many times you cannot repair that particular defect. You may have to scrap the entire the assembly. You may have to scrap or entire product. You have to make it defective, and you have to make new one. So these are all the time when you have to really look into how you can prevent or how you can eliminate a human error. So this is, as I said, it's just a disciplined approach. It is a part of Lean Six Sigma, and it's a disciplined approach where it takes up care of interactions between human and elements of the human and the system. Its goal is to eliminate defect arising due to human errors, and objective is that to understand the dynamics of human error, principles of human error prevention, understand the systematic approach, how for the analysis and how we can prevent it or detect it. Thereby you are improving the quality of the and well-being of the human being and the society. Now there are few misunderstandings in the industry. You can see that attentiveness can prevent errors. This is one. Normally, a person who is very normal and clear and very active, there could be chance that they'll make a very less defects. That is not the case. Many times people will be, if they are in a sleepy mood, they make 100% defective parts. If they are very tired, then 10% chances are there. And some people are very jovial and rest and very relaxed kind. Still, they can make mistakes and panic. Some shift engineer or the manager has fired, as scolding. Then they become panic. So that time also they can make mistakes. So it is not necessary that a person will be always in a normal and clear or in active mode. The people will be changing towards the end of the shift. They may be very tired. So those sort of things. Another is that education or training can prevent errors. Yes, education and training can prevent the errors to some extent. So you can say that maybe a 60% you can improve by through training and education, because people have a tendency to forget, or people have or the people who are trained very well have a tendency to do shortcuts, or they may forget how to do it. So training and education and training can prevent errors, but not to 100%. It can make it maybe a 60%. It can avoid the human errors. Remaining 40%, we have to see how to do it. And another is that very strange. This one is that people have a feeling that multi-fold inspection can prevent errors. This person, the third, if I'm putting in 3 inspection layers. So for the first person, if you do, ideally, if you see, it can prevent errors to up to 99%. But that is not the case because you might have got a psychological thinking that this person will think that this person will check, and this person will think that this person will check. So they will start shortcutting, and this person will think he already inspected, so I don't have to do it. This guy will think that already these 2 people inspected, why should I? So actually the effectiveness is very low, even though ideally or theoretically looks like it is very effective, but because of the human mind or human psychology, the effectiveness is actually low. This is also called foolproof, okay, mistake proofing. And what it is actually doing is that improve the human beings to fit the operation, to improve the operation to fit human beings. So this is more facilitating for the human beings so that they will not make any mistakes. So that is the whole purpose of this human error prevention methodology. Now we will come to the error proofing principles. So these are all the error proofing. So this error proofing can be done in 2 ways. One is that prevention of occurrence. The defect itself will not be generated. Another is that it is the error has occurred, but it is minimizing that so that it will not pass to the next stage. So there are 2 ways of doing that. In this prevention of occurrence itself, we have got like elimination is there, replacement, another 3, it is subdivided into elimination, replacement, and facilitation. And minimization of effects can be classified into detection and mitigation. This elimination, again, it is a task elimination and a risk elimination. Then replacement is automation support system. So we will just run through all these things with one example, so that it can be more clear to all the people. So first is task elimination. It is generally what is a certain task you will remove from the system so that the error will not happen. I will give you one example. So this is one task elimination. Now here you can see that this is a load, a weight carrying. Now there are some battens available. These battens. The operator has to put it in proper way, these battens. Otherwise, what will happen is that it will, if it is not properly fixed over here, then it will topple. So this can create some kind of risk. So this will fall down. Instead of I am putting this kind of batten, if I am changing into this task itself is I am removing, and if I am using a nylon rope here, what will happen is that this particular special care of putting all these things by human beings can be eliminated just by putting a nylon belt. So this is kind of elimination of error is called task elimination. We will see one more example. Here you can see that instead of a manual entry, if you can put some kind of barcoding into a system, barcoding system, then that manual entry, any errors due to manual entry can be eliminated. And same way you can see one other example is in that there is a ambient light sensors to turn outside the lighting on and off. So every time the driver need not to switch it on and switch it off, there is a automatic sensor is available. That is particular task which will get eliminated. So we talked about task elimination, which is actually removing some of the tasks from the system so that it is more easy to avoid human error. One second. Now next is risk elimination. So here what we are doing is that, so for one example of risk elimination is that, if you make a torque wrench instead of a normal spanner sometimes it can give a over torque, so the nut will get damaged. So under torque, so because of that there is a loose fitment will be there. So if you can use a torque wrench for that, so it can prevent from over tightening or under tightening. Cars do not lock with the key inside, so it is another risk. So sometimes people forget to take the key out of the car and they left inside and they are locking it. Then it becomes a unnecessary confusion. Light on dashboard appearing when tire pressure is low. Another example, when the tire pressure is low, it indicates some kind of light.
अभी लेक्चर है एक जगह बांग्लादेश में बांग्लादेश में मेरा एक लेक्चर है आज थैंक यू सर ऐसा तो कुछ बात हुई नहीं अभी सर पता नहीं हाँ एक वो शॉर्ट टर्म कोर्स है उसका
Yeah, touching a high temperature pipe and getting burned can be eliminated by covering with an insulating material. So another risk that people will touch and it can burn, and it is a safety issue. So that can be eliminated by an insulating material. This is another example of an industry. This is a press, and people, if they pull, by mistake they are putting the finger inside, it can create an injury. Instead of that, if I am putting a safety guard over here, the finger will not go inside. So this kind of risk of finger injury can be eliminated by doing this. So this is the I am talking about task elimination, risk elimination. But here one limitation is that many times you have to entire design of the system, you may have to change it. So you have to look into that kind of thing when you are applying this task elimination, risk elimination. Many times it's costly, and sometimes it has got a great side effect on cost, productivity, and performance. And this we have to consider when you are considering into this task elimination and risk elimination. So we now talked about task elimination and risk elimination. Now next is that automation and support system. So this is another prevention of occurrence. This is another methodology of prevention of a certain error to happen. So we'll look into that. Here, actually what is happening is that we are replacing, or we are changing the equipment design. We are replacing with the automation. So replace the human operation with more reliable machines. So for example, you can see that here it is a manual welding. This can be replaced with the auto welding, and here it is a glue. Their application of glue using a kind of machine they are using it, but this is human dependent. But this can be replaced with a automatic dispenser, so that correct amount of adhesive can be applied during assembly process. So this is one example. Another is that automotive, replaced with automation, and there is a support system. So you can give some checklist, reminders and guides or samples to human beings to perform operations more reliably. So for example, if you are writing an exam, so you are making a checklist for that. This is one just example for the sake of this one. You can use it in industry also. To check for exam notification, print challan, pay fee. So you put all a checklist, all the item for attending an exam, and you start putting a tick mark over here. So people will not forget. It will not be in memory. People need not to memorize everything. It can be taken by a checklist. So there are two things I talked. One is that automation. Another is supporting by a checklist. Now here also one limitation, or what is one is that various methods can be considered depending on number of functions that are replaced. To replace all the functions leads to large scale and unrealistic solutions. So everywhere, if you are looking for change automation, that is not practically possible. So you have to look into where are critical functions are there, where are more error prone functions are there. Those areas you can use this automation. So we have talked about elimination. In this, some certain task is getting eliminated. Here, this risk is eliminated. Here we are replacing the automation instead of human operation. And here some kind of support system so that people need not to memorize everything. Next is that facilitation. Now, this is facilitation is the most used principles and applied techniques, combining steps to make a process much easier to perform and lesser fun. Because it is a very simple way of prevention, and it doesn't have much cost involvement. So this is the one which is generally industry are willing to, or the management here are will be willing to follow. So here facilitation has got 3 steps: simplification, distinction, and adjustment. Simplification is nothing but it decrease the number of changes or differences. So, for example, make a mark on each part box consistent with a corresponding mark on the work order sheet. So, for example, so here there is a connector, and there are some wires. They have to fix it here. So, if I am putting a mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, according to the sequence of this one, the operator can take the first one and insert here. The second one, the color you can set. Third one. So they don't have to know. You are simplifying their work just by putting a corresponding mark over here. So people will not make a mistake. So this is a simple way, but this can avoid a major mistake. Otherwise, people will make interchange these wires that the function will not work. Another is that distinction. Distinguish changes difference from each other. So there is, you can use a color coding. If you are the similar looking parts, if you are putting a color coding system, then it makes a distinction, and people will have a tendency to look into that change in color will not make people confused. So for example, this is one example I have taken. There is unleaded gasoline, unleaded plus gasoline, and super unleaded gasoline. But all the gasoline will look same. But if the station, the gasoline filling station, if they are putting a color over here, white color for this one, unleaded plus this one blue, and red for this one, then there could be a chance that people have a very clear-cut distinction between how which one we need to fill in. So this is one example of distinction. The third one is that adjustment. This adjustment is that make more friendly to the human being, make symbols or characters bigger and clearer. So for example, here the font size is very low. Here we have got a big font size. So the people can look into that font size so that there could be less chance that people can read it properly, and there could be less chance that people will take selecting a wrong part. So this is more human friendly. Here facilitation is very simple, but each solution has limited effectiveness. If you look into each solution like simplification, adjustment, you have got a limited effectiveness, but its cost are very minimal. So, do not use any one method alone, but apply many methods together. This will give a very good effectiveness. Think of many solution ideas as possible and evaluate.
For a GRE open. GRE. Is science person? Commerce person.
So we have talked about the prevention of occurrence, like elimination, replacement, and facilitation. Next, we will look into the detection. Now, detection, there are detected abnormality in motion. So there are 2 ways of doing it. One is that record and verify motion for abnormality. So if you know classical example, if you look into if you are making after typing, if you look for a spell check.
Please unmute, please.
Okay.
Sir, please unmute.
You are able to listen me, na?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So another abnormality is motion restriction motion to let person notice abnormality. Here you have for classic example. Here you have done already the mistake, but the spell check is showing you that detecting that mistake and it is showing you. So it's a kind of negative. Positive is nothing but pen drive. If you put it in the reverse direction, you already done the error by putting it in the reverse direction, but it is detected. It is not allowing to go inside. So what it will do, it will not allow. So the error has happened, but the defect has not happened. So this is another example for abnormality in motion. So here, one second. Yeah. So here you can see the difference. So this way, if you're trying to put it, so already you tried to put it, so error has happened, but this is not allowing inside. So instead, this is the correct way. So this is going allowing inside properly, because this will go inside, then this will go inside. Another example of, if you say that there is you have to make a 8 to 10 mm drill. So if you put a drilling, if there is no poke or full proofing, what will happen? It will keep on drilling it and it will make a oversized depth. Instead of that, if you got a detection mechanism here, so when it goes up to that particular area, it just touches here, so it is giving a warning. It will not go further. Here you are putting a little more advanced. It is giving a warning. So limit switches you have put in. So when it touches here, it gives you, it reaches the maximum height depth. It will give you a warning. So this is another kind of detection. Okay. Another you can see in the elevators and all. If somebody is going in between, that will stop direct immediately. That will stop. So it will make a beep sound and all. So this is another example. Car safety features, like if you are not putting a seat belt, it will give a warning alarm. Or if you are putting if the door is not closed, it will give another warning alarm. So these are all some of the detection mechanism. The another is that mitigation. Mitigation means the problem is already happened and the defect has occurred, and there is you cannot do anything in that case. In that case, you can go for a mitigation. Classic example of mitigation is that a tire is flattened or tire is punctured. So what will happen if you have got a stepney or a spare wheel is there, spare tire is there, then you can mitigate the effect of that particular problem. You can replace with a stepney or you can replace with a spare tire. So that particular error is mitigated by using by putting a spare tire. So same way, shock absorbing material like fusing circuit, airbags. So already the short circuit has happened, but to mitigate its the dangerous effectiveness, what will that we have to put a fuse so that it will not make it a further aggravate. The problem will not further will get aggravated. Same way airbags. So already the accident happened, but it is preventing the people to get injured. So airbags are used. But here it is actually mitigating a certain error. It is not preventing or detecting. It is rather mitigating it. And protector, sharp edges, etc. You can use rubber sheets to avoid some scratches and all on the material. So benefits of elimination of some QC quality function like multiple inspection and all can be avoided. It can increase if you make all good parts. The employees' motivation will improve. Reduce our operators from repetitive operations. So people will also get tired, but if they don't make mistakes, it is actually good for them. For management or companies plant side, reduced number of defects and immediate action when a problem occurs. 100% built-in quality. The customer is also fully satisfied because it's 100% built-in quality. Let's spend time on training workers. So already you have put a error proofing system. So it is kind of a de-skilling. You don't have to make the skills more. So it is kind of a de-skilling. So we discussed about all kind of errors like elimination, task elimination, risk elimination, replacement. So you have to make a automation instead of manual working. Facilitation, I already told. Simplification means you have to simplify the humans. It is more related to facilitate human to work. Distinction, using a color code, you can make a distinction. And adjustment, you can make the font size. I have given an example so that people will not make a read wrongly. Same way, detection, I already discussed about spell check and all. Then restriction motion, that like pen drive and drilling, I have given example. And mitigation, redundancy, you can use a stepney or a spare wheel, fail safe, fuse airbags. The protector, you can create a scratch and all. So this is a three-phase approach. First, you have to identify.
Dear speaker, please, your time almost over. Please.
2 minutes. 1 second. 1 minute only left.
Okay.
1 minute left. Identifying improvement opportunities, generating solutions, and evaluating, selecting solutions. So with that, this is the knowing is not enough. We must apply, and willingness is not enough. We must do it. With that statement, I would thank all of you to listen to my lecture, and hope this has given some kind of awareness to you. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Any question? Any question from audience? Any question?
Yes, sir. I put a question on chat box.
Chat box, let me just see. When people work under huge mental pressure, what is the percentage of error? Yeah, I'll just come to that. 1 second. It's a good question. Yeah, this is your question. They are very panicked. That's what I feel that you are asked. We are excited. They are panicked. Somebody has a lot of pressure. He has got. Then there could be chance there more than 10% they can create error. These are all scientific studies. So there could be chance there 100 part if they make. There could be chance there more than 10 it will be a defect. Is okay?
No, any more question? I want to conclude. So thanks. I want to conclude this session.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Our
thank you all.
international speaker.
Thank you once again, Dr. Maunu Rashid, for inviting me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now I would like to our next speaker from Jharkhand. He also know the Bangla, the beside of West Bengal. Dr. Dinesh Kumar holds a PhD in supply chain management from IIT Roorkee and is currently working as assistant professor in the Department of Production and Industrial Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Jamshedpur, India. He has published various papers in reputed international journals and presented papers in international conference in India abroad in his research acumen. His current focus area are supply chain management, perishable inventory policy, system dynamics, and operations. Dr. Dinesh Kumar, are you available? Dr. Dinesh Kumar. Dr. Dinesh Kumar, please. Please unmute your mute now. Okay.
Very good evening to all of you. Am I audible, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
good evening to, very good evening to all of you. Share. Professor Rashid, am I I will be. What time? How much time I will be?
I think you on 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes, it will be better.
Okay. So I'll be skipping some of the slides which are not so relevant.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, so good evening, all of you. So the title of my presentation, my talk will be recent trends in perishable inventory management. So I'll be talking about various trends, industry trends, and research trends that are going in the area of perishable inventory management. So first of all, what we should know, what is the difference between obsolescence and the deterioration, because this term is closely related to the perishable inventory. Okay, here we just many of us confuse about the obsolescence and deterioration. The obsolescence is a term that is when the products lose their value, their competitive value due their value due to the competition or due to the technological upgradation, and we all witness such type of products every day. Okay, like we have seen floppy drive, CD, microprocessor, and all the home appliances. As far as deterioration, which I will be talking about in detail, the deterioration refers to damage, spoilage of the product due to the dryness, vaporization, microbial growth, or degradation. Okay, like we have, for example, we have various food items that are having variable lifetime. We have various products, perishable products that have fixed lifetime, like medicines, blood products, food products with preservative, because when the food product is having the effect of preservative, then it is giving some fixed lifetime. When they are some of the food products which they are unpacked, they comes in the category of variable lifetime products. Okay, these are the products that we will be discussing about. Now, as far as this perishability, why it comes into picture, why it is so serious? According to the International Grain Council, in 2018, they have estimated that about 20.03% of the harvest is going to lose due to the storage problems. And during the storage, it gets deteriorated, and there are many other problems. Sometimes the breakage is there. There are different problems. So, and most of the part which is going to spoil due to the deterioration. So we have to control the deterioration of the food items. At the same time, we have to decide what should be the order size, what should be the lot size, how much to order, how much to store, how much to invest in the storage facility. Sometimes we are using the preservation effort of the inventory. How much to invest? How much to invest in the modern equipment? So all these things we can estimate using such inventory policies. Now, how to find out the quality, real-time quality of the item? There are various modern methods to find out the real-time quality or to assess the quality of the food, like microwave imaging, like electrochemical biosensor are there, red, green, blue imaging is there, and electronic nose. And there are spectroscopy, there are different methods to find out the quality. Now, dispatching policy, as far as inventory policies are concerned, the dispatching policies play a great role. Here we have various policies. First is service in random out. When we have huge demand and we see that our lead time is shorter, in that case, we just choose the products randomly, irrespective of their life. So this policy is relevant in such case. Then we have first in, first out, and last in, first out policies. As everybody knows, the product which comes first in the lot has to be delivered first, and the product which comes last to be delivered in the first lot. Then first expired, first out. Then we have various other policies like last expired, first out. These policies are selected on the basis of various criteria, as I have mentioned here. Like last expired, first out is opted when we just export the items, and when we have uncertainty in logistics in downstream stages, then highest quality first out and lowest quality first out are other policies. There are other policies also, like allocation in first out. There are other methodologies. Now, as far as the modeling is concerned, I will be focusing on the deterministic modeling here. Like, let me just minimize it. Yes. So here, we just assume on y-axis, we assume inventory, x-axis our time. And if we have non-perishable inventory, we take a small element, and this slope is saying, is denoting the demand. And then we just can formulate a differential equation, di by dt. It's d is the slope, so di by dt is equal to minus d. Here, the minus sign shows that inventory is depleting. Means I2 minus I1 will be negative when the inventory is depleting. But in case when the inventory is getting some replenishment is taking place, it will be positive. In case of perishable inventory, the inventory is depleting due to the demand as well as due to the deterioration rate. Here alpha is our deterioration rate, I is the inventory. So the inventory is depleting due to the effect of combined effect of demand and the deterioration. And similarly, we can formulate this equation. Now, as far as the factors that we are considering during the modeling of the perishable inventory policies, first is the demand rate. We have deterministic demand rate as well as stochastic demand rates. As deterministic concern, we can consider constant demand, linear, positive or negative, quadratic, exponential, increasing or decreasing, freshness or quality, and freshness and quality dependent, freshness and selling price dependent demand, price dependent demand, stock dependent demand, promotions dependent demand, and ramp type demand. Means ramp type, first it will increase, then it will settle, and then it will decrease. Then stochastic demand, we can consider the non-probability distribution, any non-probability distribution, or any random probability distribution. So I'll go one by one quickly. As far as this the price dependent demand, here we have assumed we have a function that is a derived function used by many researchers. All these functions that I'm discussing are used by many researchers. So here K is our scaling factor. It will denote the base market size, P is our price, and B is the index of price elasticity on demand. When B is equal to 1, it is unitary, means the price that you are increasing, the demand will increase in the same size. When B is 0, you will change the price, the demand will not be affected. Okay, next is time and price dependent demand. Here is our, this is the function of time when the demand is getting affected due to the time. This is a function of price. Is P is the selling price, B is the index of price elasticity. Similarly, we have various functions like price and like market size and function of quality. We have selling price and freshness dependent demand. We have stock dependent demand. Okay, every time we go to the supermarket, we just first of all we see how much is stock there. Then we just make our purchasing decision. More the stock is there, more our purchasing decision will be affected. Then we have a time dependent linear demand, alpha plus beta, we have A plus BT. Then we may have a quadratic demand also, that is time dependent. The demand may be affected due to the promotions, that is tau. Tau is the sensitivity of the promotions on the demand, and rho is the promotional efforts that does not have any traditional unit, but it is measured on the point scale. Larger the point scale is, larger the effect on the demand will be there. Then advertisement and selling price dependent demand is there. Here is A is the frequency of advertisement and E is the unit price, and this beta is again the index of price elasticity. This is the very interesting ramp type demand. Every shop owner around the world observe those who are selling the fruits, vegetables. You see when in the starting the demand increases in any season. Suppose mango is there, the demand increases rapidly when the mango start coming into the market, and after some time the demand gets stabilized, and at the end of the season we just decrease our selling of these fruits. Okay, so this may be linearly increasing or linearly decreasing, or it may have another shape. It may be non-linearly increasing, or it may have this shape at the at the middle, or it may have this kind of shape, or it may be have any shape, but it will be called as a ramp type when it is having this type of nature. Then as far as stochastic demand is concerned, we have various probability distributions. It may be a non-probability distributions like Poisson. It may have a random arbitrary probability distribution, or it may have a discrete or continuous if it is arbitrary. As far as deterioration rate with respect to time, how fast the item is getting deteriorated. Okay, so it may have a constant deterioration, linearly deteriorating item, or it may have time dependent variable distribution. It is 2-parameter variable distribution and 3-parameter variable distribution. May have gamma distributed exponential exponential decay, or it may have fuzzy deterioration rate. Now, the time dependent. Here it is depending upon the life of the product. Okay, Here we have a 30-day life of the product. R is 30. The usable life is 30 days, and it is decreasing. Means the life is decreasing very fast. When you just see when it is closing to the 30 days, it is getting asymptotic, exponentially increasing. Then we have variable distributed, that is 2-parameter variable distributed deterioration rate. Here alpha and beta, they are very important. Alpha is a scale parameter and beta is our shape parameter. So we have to decide how much of alpha and beta we have to keep during the modeling process. Okay, and varying just alpha and beta, we can change the different items. Suppose we have designed our model. This is a generalized distribution. Okay, generalized deterioration rate. So if we this time we are using this inventory model for one fruit item, for say for apple, here we can choose the value of alpha and beta different. Next time we are choosing for the guava, then the changing the alpha and beta, we can just choose the deterioration for that particular item. We can have a 3-parameter variable distribution also. When the deterioration starts after a period of time, gamma, we can have a generalized family of distribution like gamma distribution, and here changing the value of alpha and beta, we can change the shape of the curve as per the item. But this type of distribution is rarely used. Mostly people are using nowadays variable distribution and other distribution that I have covered previously. There are other parameters that affect the inventory planning, like inflation. The inflation plays very important role because the time value of money is always decreasing. So whenever you have invested some amount on inventory, means you have invested your opportunity cost. In that case, the inflation will be there. So that has to be counted, as well as whenever you are calculating the holding cost. So that time will also play a role. In that case also, the inflation has to be considered while calculating the holding cost. Backlogging is another major parameter, whether you are considering a full backlogging or partial. Full backlogging means all of the customers are waiting for the next order, or some of them are losing. Some of them are leaving your system. Okay, that is called as a loss of sale. Then trade credit financing is there, carbon emission cap and taxation is there. Okay, nowadays governments worldwide has started taking the carbon emission tax from the big companies. So as much as they consume the energy, the more carbon taxation will be imposed, and carbon credit is there. So a certain carbon credit is given to a particular company if they spend less than that, they can sell the remaining one to the another one. So this is very important parameter while we design the policies for inventory. We'll discuss in coming slides. Then advance payments are there. Imperfect production process. In the production process also, there may be some defects. There may be some defects in the production process that is causing the imperfect quality of the items. Then varying production, okay, varying lot size, and one period or multi-period policies, one warehouse or multi-warehouse policies are there, multi-echelon models are there, economic order quantity or ETQs are there. Then cross perishability effects. Okay, we'll discuss in coming slide what is cross perishability effect. Then there are disruptions, which is latest. There are disruption in the production, like in the COVID-19 lockdown. There was the disruption in the production as well as in the demand that affected the all supply chain, all the stages of the supply chain. Now, as far as this carbon cap policies are concerned, what is this all about, this carbon cap and credit? Here is a warehouse which is consuming some energy. Professor Rashid, how much time
No, almost your time over. Almost time over, please.
Okay, can you please give me
within 5
minutes
minutes?
more?
Please finish within 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So here is a warehouse which is consuming some energy. As much as the energy is consumed, more will be the tax imposed on the firm. And the more energy they will consume, more freshness of the items they can maintain. Okay, the more freshness they can maintain, the more profit they can earn. Therefore, the firm has to decide how much of the energy they have to consume, how much means how minimum they can consume. Okay, so for this they can invest money on the power saving equipments to increase the efficiency. The cross perishability is something like our refrigerator. When various items are kept there, one item is ripening fast, it is emitting ethylene gas when it ripe, and that emission of that ethylene gas is causing the ripen effect of others. So the cross perishability is very important as far as the preservation is concerned. How can we control this cross perishability? Okay, so here we have to consider what kind of design we can make in order to increase the preservative life of the product. Trade credit financing is another trend. It is one level trade credit and two level trade credit financing. One level is up to from the distributor to the seller, and two levels from the distributor to the seller to the customer. And it is partial and full. Okay, so in partial trade credit, it is depending upon how much quantity someone is purchasing. In full trade credit is irrespective of the quantity being purchased. Our research progress, quickly we will see. We have developed various models on perishable inventory that are also published in reputed journals. We have developed two warehouse models considering the demand, which is dependent on the selling price and freshness keeping effort. And I will just skip it. We'll go to the newer one. Yes. Okay, just quickly. We recently have developed a model which is based on the COVID-19 lockdown. We have seen that the demand was decreased, disrupted as the lockdown was imposed. This is the demand which was decreased due to the lockdown. So in case when the demand is disrupted, other items are there in the warehouse. In that case, you have to put more effort so that their deterioration can be controlled. So we have considered here how much of the freshness keeping effort we can put in order to increase the life of the product. Also, we have seen the effect of various parameters on the total cost of the system, like how much of the demand disruption is affecting the total cost, the demand disruption, and how much of the demand when the lockdown is opening, how much of the effect of, since when lockdown is opening, the demand will just rise abruptly. The people will buy in the panic mode, in the panic behavior, and the demand will just rise. Okay, and another is the lockdown period. If lockdown period is increasing some for some period, how much it will impact the total cost. Also, we have seen the various effect of various type of trade credits on the total profit of the system. Like here we have, this is our trade credit period, how it is affecting the interest gain by the distributor. Okay, so all these things that we have estimated. Here is the drop in the demand, rise in the demand when the lockdown is relieved. This one. So this is the M is the trade credit period versus the total profit of the firm. So if trade credit period is increased, because when you increase the trade credit period, someone can earn money, he can deposit that money into the bank, and he can earn money within that period. So his total profit will increase. So this is that what I could cover in this 20 minutes. Professor Rashid, any question or comments?
And please, audience request, I would like to audience, please question, any question regarding supply, demand, price.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
The model that you have shown is very good, I think. But in order to execute the model, I need a lot of parameter to be set, the values of the parameter.
Yes.
So if I don't know, what shall I do?
The model, like the perishability rate is one parameter. How much the perishability rate you will consider. Okay, that perishability rate can be determined using various, there are a number of equipments available in the market. Another parameter is the demand. The demand you can consider from the previous, from your competitors. Okay. Nowadays, the demand various companies are adopting from the competitor products. And other parameters like inflation is there, that no one, that is already there, that is quantifiable. So these parameters that we have used from the literature that is available now, and we have done some sensitivity analysis for our models, how our model is behaving when we vary these parameters.
Yeah, you are university professor, you are intelligent, and you have the data, so that's why you could fix it up.
Yes.
But how can you make your system more, what do you call, useful for laymen's, like one shopkeeper? He doesn't have any data, right? He will probably guess something, which may not be in line with your model. In that case, what shall we do?
For the shopkeeper, we can just make a decision support system that may have that is user friendly. Okay.
Yeah, that is all actually what we need. Somehow we have to hide the math.
Yes, mathematics we can hide. We can have some graphical user interface there.
And you can create a simple interface where you will put very few things and you will be able to know what's going on.
Yes. Thank you.
So
this is very
I think probably that would be your next challenge, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mamun.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Our closing ceremony chief guest, Dr. Latif, already present. I will take 10 minutes from him. Now I would like to request to Professor Sarwar to present his paper. Only 10 minutes.
Thank you, Rashid, sir.
Okay. Professor Sarwar?
Yes, I'm there. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's not a presentation, it's just a discussion forum I'm opening right now.
Okay.
Let me share the screen. Am I audible? You can see the screen now?
Okay.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to discuss something, a real life problem in Bangladesh, also around the world as well. We try to explore some barriers and how to mitigate this one in sustainability of the RNG supply chains during the COVID-19. I'll discuss a little bit from my earlier research. As you know, though, everyone discussing about the supply chain, obviously the supply chain is the main, they're having the main hurdle during the COVID-19 for all industries, particularly if we consider the RMG in Bangladesh. Since last year, March, we are having problems for get the products in and out from the country. And also there is some problems in communication, also some social and also from safety problems. Due to the COVID outbreak, resilience in supply chain process faced a lot of disruption as well. When it comes to the RMG supply chain, traditional supply chain process, but in South Asia, the largest economic sector as we consider RMG, we have limitations and logistics. As you know that in Bangladesh right now, the most of the water is going out from Bangladesh by air. So the price, if it is go by sea, normally have time, so we can have low prices. And then when it goes to the shipping by air, the price has gone up. And there are many other issues in the supply chain. Last year, the overall supply has been gone down and the whole supply chain has been disrupted. I was visiting many of these factories within the last 2 years. And there are many issues we have discussed. And now the things, how we can, that time we are planning that we can tell the industries that should be they are addressing first. So out of this, the discussion with the stakeholders, and we try to implement some models there. I just go back to my POSH project that has been conducted in Bangladesh, which is between 2015 and 2020, that improved the productivity and occupational health and safety in our sectors, where we have done the baseline on 50 industries and then intervention on the 12 industries. Many of participating here were the part of this industry. I would like to thank you all of them. And then from that point, because we are having, the COVID situation, so we are thinking how we can implement the existing model. We propose them, let's integrate everything we can, in hybrid mode, and that we make it successfully. After talking to the BGME, also the industries, they said, okay, hang on, we can do it that way. So we call this one network to integrate POSH with, in, you can see the NIPOS project. It started in 2020. It's completing hopefully by 2022. We have done the baselines in 23 industries, and we will do the further study on certain industries. We expect all of them will be in the intervention. However, because of the COVID, some of this company is not participating with us. As you can see, the RMG during the COVID, I was visiting. Usual factory is quite, the many people working there. As you can see, the line has been making is a cellular foam. The whole structure has been changed within the industry because of the supply chain disruption. And there are many barriers there. And then skills, that the skills required to do the jobs is really important one for the RMG industries. The production, recently the production gone up, and many of these women, they used to work in the RMG industry is going out of the work because they changed their the profession probably, or they moved to their local area where they're doing something else. The man is coming there to take their positions. So many of these, the skilled male workforce coming to the RMG industry. This is another dimension changing in Bangladesh. So we expect it is going to go up in coming days because of some technological change and the modernization of the machineries and the skill they require to do many of these complex works and rapidly changing these times. During the COVID, the BGMA and all the industries, and including Bangladesh government, they're having some rules and regulation to maintain this one during the production. As you can see, these are the restriction. Usually they go there and have their production and have the food and do another shift and then go home. Very busy, it's a normal case. But if you visit the factory right now, you can see what is the the differences from entry to the exit. You have to follow many rules and regulation. It was very difficult during the first few months of the restriction in Bangladesh. However, after some time, I think from May, the things are going up. However, there is some, the loss of orders, approximately a few billions last year. They canceled the order, which is a big loss to the industries. And after that, the production systems coming up in a modified way. They changed the structure. If you visit the factories, you will see many of these industries has rearranged their lines and so many things because just to avoid the COVID pandemic. You'll be surprised to know that not many workers have been actually affected by the COVID. There are some, they try to take some, the serious action against any health and safety concern. So that's a good thing. We are having this one in Bangladesh. However, the main supply line, from importing, exporting from Bangladesh or things moving within the Bangladesh is in restriction. So there are many issues. These are we try to focus on exploring the crucial supply chain barriers, and not many barriers we are considering. There are, the 10 to 12 barriers we consider for our research, and indispensable reduce the supply chain disruption. These barriers, we have to identify them, which barriers is critical. And we have taken the expert opinion. I will discuss upon the shortlisting these critical barriers. And interpretive structural modeling has been done to identify the barriers and their impacts and which one need to be mitigated quickly. And the objective of this one to find the critical barriers to mitigate the supply chain disruption during the pandemic and maintain the supply chain resilience RMG in South Asia. This is the main objective of our research. As you can see, there is some sample question I put on the left-hand side. There are 30 survey questions for 23 factories, mostly qualitative and expert opinion. There are questions set up, some from network and project activities, and some quality control engagement. And the last 10 question was on the 10-12 question was on the barriers in RMG supply chain during the COVID-19. So we have a good response, and because it's very difficult to have the interviews during the COVID, we managed to do it. We have 29 respondents. It's open questions. It's a 2 hours, 3 hour discussion and face-to-face interviews has been recorded, and the transcription has been done. You can see some question is, do you face any problem with the improper scheduling of the work distribution during COVID-19 lockdowns? So we have to put this one in Bengali and then English as well to make them understand. Sometimes they do not consider, they try to give answer, everything yes or no. We try to get more information from them, what actually happened for these questions. Have we faced any ambiguity in collaboration of the other departments? Some of them says no, but we found actually there is a lack of consistency in the strategic plan with all other departments. Mostly says no, but when we start asking them, we found the reality. So that's how we have, we are asking the same question with the same setup from the people from IE, HR, and compliances, and also from the management, in some cases, supervisors, to have our answer ready. So we have these answers and from them, and we try to, model them. Some of this we can do it easily in a scale of strongly disagree, you put 1, disagree 2, neutral 3, 4, and 5. These are the 29 people asking, and the 4 of them is agree. Do you face any problem with the scheduling of the work distribution during COVID-19? Most of them say yes. So that's how we identify them, what is the actual scenario during the lockdown. On the left-hand side, you can see this scenario, almost all nations around the world under the lockdown, worldwide corporations are operating, feared that financial conditions and could deteriorate in future. That is happening. Still, people says we are opening for the business. Hopefully, we are opening for the businesses, but still there is a fear that could come back, and we have to plan properly to mitigate all these issues, so the business can stay, the sustainable. This is one of the question. I can give you a more of them soon. And what happened, what we did actually along the line, we are asking the question, we check their, the productivity, health and safety, and occupational health and safety. So this is the data I try to explain to you. As you can, the first one on the left-hand side is the baseline, when they start the work in, when we start taking the data from the day 1. And after 8-9 months after, we take the data from there. That is, you can see in some cases, those have a higher efficiency. There's some come down. Some of them is coming down, they're reducing. But those have a low efficiency, they're going up. How this is happening? We are having them the skills and knowledge and training in dual mode. We visited them, and we have some session in digital mode in platform. So we are in communication, in some cases one-to-one, some cases in multi-mode. And during the COVID and the Corona as well, we organized a network meeting in a hotel in Dhaka, and maintaining health and safety. We train them there, and we can see it's possible, that through the integration of network, to implement the productivity and all conditions for the industry to improve the productivity and stay in business during the COVID. And the black one, as you can see, this is the change. This is change. In some cases, is going down, as you can see. Some of it is negative. That could be many of these reasons. This information not for the complete factory. This is the only line we consider as our intervention line. This line has the information there. So what we found then, after all this information, 2 to 2.3% efficiency increases from the baseline of 58%. So we are able to improve the efficiency and improve the productivity and improve the occupational health and safety condition and during the COVID situation. And these are the question we are taking. There is some guidelines, as you can see. They are supporting the main barriers for the supply chain. The for this one. I'm not going to go all of them. I have a review and references. If you want to, you can go there. So these are the same question we're asking them. And from there, we have to make the vital barriers for the matrix. It's like a structural self-interaction matrix, relation matrix we have created. There is a V, you can see the A. So this row has more influence on the column. And if it's A, column got more influence on the row. If it's if this is the X, both influences each other. And if there is a 0, there is no influence, no one can influence. As you can see, the same number 1 to 12, there is also the same. The first row is the 1, so B, 2, 3. As if you consider that one, that X, or that V, you can see the 6 got a influence over 11. What is the 11? It is a disruption of sustainable procurement. So this matrix has been created. And after that, we have to do some analysis because this is the multi-criteria decision-making analysis. We have done this one. We clustered them, we partitioned them, and from there we have to find the which the barrier is more crucial. So from there is the highest level is 4. The B9 is a more crucial. We have to mitigate this one first. That's why we have to make a rank all of them. So after that, we have to doing the analysis, the matrix of cross impact multiplication applied to the classification, this MICMAC method. So we try to classify them in 4 sectors: autonomous, dependent, linkage, independent. So B9 is completely independent of each other. It's a dependent, B4 is a dependent of the other one, and they have the interlink. We didn't find anyone automated. So that's how we have done our calculation. The research is still developing. And COVID-19 has a huge challenge to the decision maker to make a major decision, which disrupts supply chains environment in RMG South Asia. Concluded that how the supply chain decision maker to providing them insights about the impactful barriers, the performance and the interrelation between the barriers. Study may help them to recognize the cause and effect relationship between the barriers. So this is the small presentation I'm making to this board. If you got any question, you can ask me. I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Professor Sarwar, for his nice presentation. Now open floor, open for any question. Our time almost over. We want to conclude within 9:30 p.m. So any question, short question, otherwise we go to the closing ceremony. Maybe no any question. This is our closing ceremony. Our chief guest, Dr. Mohammed Abdul Latif, Director General, Governance Innovation Unit, PMO. He available, and also a special guest, Abdul Wahid, PS2 Minister, Deputy Secretary, Ministry of Industries, and our session chair, Professor Dr. Sarwar Morshed. So I hand over to this session.
I got a question. I got a question. Mamun, can I answer?
Yes.
In RMG, most of the workers are female. RMG becomes more sophisticated due to the 4IR, industry revolution. Is this a threat for the women who are currently working? It's a good question. Thank you. His name is Tahmid, research officer. That's the indication I try to give during the presentation. You know, the things are changing now. We found that in reality, there are more male workers coming to the RMG sector and they're taking over their jobs. Because that's why I try to say that they have to have leadership and they have to be skill and they have to properly train to stay in the business. We're expecting within the next, say 10 years time, and the whole industry will have a major, the overhaul with the technological advancement. And we have to stay in the businesses. Otherwise, approximately 70% people will lose the job. Someone will come and take it. This is the main reason of industrial revolution is coming in there. There is modernization. We're also working with the industry to use the IoT with the machines and to control the quality, control the productivity and production and everything. So I have a meeting with the RMG, the BGMA day before yesterday, and they are discussing these things. Is in place now. Many of this industry are implementing the industry for, the control devices and the IoT devices, which is set it up with the industry, so they can cope with the demand and the style changes and the quality control, and also they can know the status of the status of the machines simultaneously. I found many of these industries, they are putting something, it's like a semi-automated, but it does work, rather than going with them, do this one, that one, but they can identify who does what and how that has been done. That is good for the root cause analysis as well, to identify either it's problem in the machines or with the worker. So we are in the process. So hopefully Industry 4 is taking over, but they are not taking the jobs from the people unless otherwise we are upgrading our skills. There will be some problem. This human will be working, but the skill has to be improved. Tamit, please.
Sir, do you propose any plan like secondary, primary, secondary, or tertiary, or mid-term or long-term plan? Do you propose?
Yes, it is there. It is there. We had a discussion. We are making a phase. I think the BGM is making the plan actually to improve this one. They are making major phases. Yeah, they're structuring right now. I think they are bringing to all the industries there. They're making the 3 phases. So they are improving theirs in who can. But we suggested them, they have to consider, as much as they can to avoid in further deterioration of the, to retain their worker. But you'll be surprised to know that the RMG order has gone up more than what they used to have before the COVID right now. So all the industries is looking for the skill, the manpower, skill labor, skill supervisor. That is happening right now in Bangladesh. So it is a good sign. We are coming back, but if you consider the 4IR and beyond, we have to upgrade our skills. I think Professor Sharifullah, he knows he was talking about the Industry 4 and beyond. So you can give some answer on this one if you'd like to, please. He was asking about the Industry 4IR.
Okay,
well,
now.
Industry 4.0 will not take any job from Bangladesh. That I can guarantee.
Yes, I know that, but there is some effect, the migration will happen.
Yes, sir.
Well, we will fight.
We will fight.
Or we will produce our own IoT devices. In that case, we will give more.
Yeah, we are doing this one.
Hope for the best, sir. Prepare for the worst, sir.
Now, I want to hand over this closing ceremony program to the session chair, Professor Dr. M. Sarwar Morshed. Please contact this session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to request our today's, I think I was just missing, Mohammed Abdul Latif is there?
Available.
Yes, I'm here. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Abdul Latif. It's a closing ceremony. If you'd like to put your words towards the event today. Mohammed Abdul Latif, he's done his PhD from Aluga University. And basically he's an engineer and he's been working for the government sector for the last 25 years or 22 years, I think, 22 years so. And he started his career, he has been working in a industry, then he moved to the government as a, I don't want to say as a, one of the influential government officials. Now he's working at the PM office for the government's innovation unit. Helping our, the government also for the education sectors to have quality education research within and outside of Bangladesh. And so that's all. Mohammed Abdullah, Dr. Abdul Latif, please.
Thank you, Professor Morshed, for introducing me. I would like to thanks, first of all, I'd like to thanks to the BIM for inviting me in this session, and also distinguished guests and participants. Very good evening. So actually, I'm afraid of speaking before the enlightened gathering because I am not in this line with this. Everybody is expert in their areas, whether he is working in the academia, whether he is working in the industry. So I am actually a bureaucrat. I know only general issues, not much in depth. So I am tried to speak a few words like this. The very I'd like to first of all congratulate the BIM because the today's symposium they arranged for is very timely and demanding also, I think, and this is in line with their responsibility. I mean, for me, what I understand that as I am not say that I'm not in academia about the title in industrial technology innovation management. To me, it is about innovation, local innovation maybe, or innovation that is abroad that we may import from our industry or from our service, both the way. And this is about all about our skills to develop our people to work with this innovation, work this new techniques, new technology, and this is followed to manage our technology and also manage the people who learn about the technology. This is all about I think maybe I am wrong. During today's discussion from the very enlightened speakers that I am also participating in a few of the sessions. I also heard from Sharifullah and also from the first Mohammed Nawaz Sharif also attended this session. So that all other issues that they cover with this seminar, that is innovation, technology, skills for tire, AI, artificial intelligence, all issues is covered. For me, that you know that the government of Bangladesh is working in line with your ideas, in line with your thinking, to fulfill the dream of the father of the nations. Our Prime Minister hard work. He also set all the goals. All the plans are in line with this. He set the goal 2021, which we already achieved. He set the goal for Vision 2041. We are planning with this how to achieve this. We are now graduating from LDC to middle income countries status. So we are working, and all the sectors, academia, industry, policymakers work together in this line with this. And we have our own different policies about the skill development and about the other issues like this. If you focus on only skill development, we have our skill development policy. We have our national productivity organization. We have our national National Skill Development Authority. So lots of issues is there. Lots of organizations are working there. We have a huge program to develop the skills of the mainly for the private sector. There is we call the skills for employment program, and with this program we have about 4,400 plus institutions involved with. About 139 courses are delivering from these programs. So about more than 4.5 lakh people are already get the skills, get the training from this program. So government is working very hard. So what I think that if I talk very few words in here, we need to identify our gaps. Where are the gaps? We are very lagging behind from other countries, even our neighboring countries in respect of productivity, competitiveness. Why? We should focus on it. And here is the role of industry and academia. Huge role, I think. Industry should inform their gaps to the academia. Academia should work with it, and they sit together and find the solutions. And with the solution, with this curriculum, they can go forward. So the role is mainly played by industry and academia. Government will support them in respect in line with the policy or in respect to fund. So I think here is we need to input very much. And one issue that if we what are the demanding sector, now we need to focus on it, that we fourth tier is in front of us. We know everybody all. What areas we need to focus? We don't know. Not only fourth tier. Fourth tier is a huge area. For Bangladesh, what we need to know just now, what we need to know within 5 years, what we need to know within 10 years, this is to be identified. If we talk about fourth tier, it doesn't mean to me anything. So here is the intervention of the academia. Here is the intervention of the industry. What type of technology they bring from from abroad? What type of technology come with this fourth tier? So here we have a huge area to work with, work together. Nothing more. I think this is the area. I think everybody, if we work together, we are in line. By the end of 2041, we are planning to be a higher developed nations or rich nations. So if we work together, by 2030, we'll achieve the SDG goals. So if we plan is there, but we need to work. We need to act rightly, individually, organizationally, and everybody in every place. So I think this is my earnest request to the academia and the industry, those who are present, work together. I have some experience to work with the industry, with the academia during doing my PhD. So I think there is some collaboration, but it is not healthy. Collaboration is there, but it is not healthy. What I think what industry need to do, they should have some center of excellence to do their research, to do their training, what they need to learn. In the government sector or in the industry, we see that a huge number of mid-level executives are from our neighboring country. Why? What is our leggings? We have lots of university graduates who have no work. So where is the gap? We need to identify. We need to provide them. So we are to, I think, everything to work. This is all about me. I thank you again, all of the audience to hear me, and the organizer to invite me. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Abdul Latif, for your nice, the valuable talks to the audiences. You just went around all these plan government, they got 2020, 2030, 2041, and 2071, all these plans, as per the plan of the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and our dream to be Bangladesh should be one of the developed nations by 2041. We just recently graduated from LDC, and many of the skill institute has been set up in Bangladesh, as you mentioned, and there are many peoples has been given skills. So we need to identify the gaps, where the gaps has to be identified, and after that, the university and academia should work collaboratively to address this issue. And we always mention that the people coming from outside taking our jobs. Why that is happening? Why there is, the 140,000 Chinese people working here? If we have this school, they don't come here. So we have some gap problems. We know that why they're paying this amount of money. We can take over, we can take over, just improve our skills. Everyone need to work together, both those living in outside of Bangladesh, also in Bangladesh. If we work together, if we have the proper training and skills, hopefully we can have this one. Thank you very much, Muhammad Abdul Latif, for your nice and valuable talk. The next speaker, I think, Abdul Wadud is here.
Maybe not joined, absent.
Okay. Now I would like to request, before requesting Dr. Mamunur Rashid, he's a consultant, and he has been working for BGME, not for BIM for a long time. He's been in Saudi Arabia working as academia and professor there. And before that, he did his PhD from Japan under the supervision of Sharifullah. His supervisor is here today. And he has been working with us for so many years and helping the industries in many ways. So in BIM, he directly involved with the teaching and also research and many other interesting events throughout the years. And I would like to request Dr. Mamunur Rashid to say a vote of thanks to the audiences. Dr. Mamunur Rashid.
Thank you. I would like to thank the 2 days long symposium, and around the world speaker joined from USA, Nawaz Sharif, Japan, Sharifullah, Professor Sharifullah, India, Vinod Kumar and Dinesh Kumar, and also our renowned expert from the IUT, Samsuddin Sir, Harun Rashid, and also the our session chairman now, Sarwar Morshed. This is the thank you to the also the IM Society. He also support the OrgaWare support many program still 2018 to last 3-4 years they are support me many ways, conference, symposium, seminar, many ways they are support me. So we are continue this endeavor further, and also thanks to our today's chief guest, Abdul Latif. I also introduced first in the Albor University project. In this project also introduced the Asanullah University and also Albor. So I know him beginning. So thank you. Thank you to all. 2 days our lacking almost we are covered to the program almost timely. Thank you to all for joining us. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much.
Sir, thank you,
Shamsuddin
sir.
sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Samsuddin sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Shamsuddin and Professor Saifullah for your presence here.
Sayonara. Bye-bye.
Sayonara. Assalamu alaikum. Professor Sharifullah, I'll be contacting with you shortly, and Professor Shamsuddin Ahmed as well, and all other guests, because we are making a platform for industry academia collaboration. Is very soon in December. So we need your support to make this one happen. And there will be many participants from industry, also from academia as well. And we are organizing some webinar. You'll be invited to be there as a keynote.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Mamun, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Apnar support লাগবে স্যার, পরবর্তীতে লাগবে স্যার।
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Professor Shamsuddin sir, আপনার mic, you need to unmute yourself.
সরি, আমি এতক্ষণ কথা বলছি শুনে যায়নি না।
না না।
সরি, আমি তো সরি। মোহাম্মদ আব্দুল লতিফ, ভালো আছো না? আল্লাহর রহমতে
ভালো স্যার, আছি ভালো স্যার।
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ, আমি শুনে খুশি হইলাম তোমার বর্তমান অবস্থান জেনে। আর ইউ হ্যাপি?
Yes, sir.
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। যাক, ভালো, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। আমাদের তোমরা বিভিন্ন বড় ভালো জায়গায় থাকলে আমাদের একটা মনটা বড় হয়ে যায় আর কি, খুশি হয়ে যায় আর কি। তো যাক, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। আমার এটা বোধহয় তোমার শোনার সুযোগ হয় নাই না?
না স্যার, আমি শুনতে পাই না স্যার।
আমার কিন্তু জ্বর, আমি জ্বর ছিল, আমি সবকিছু শুনতাম, শুনতে পাইনি স্যার, জ্বর ছিল। আজকে একটু ভালো স্যার।
এটা একটা ডিপ ছিল, ডিপ একটা টপিক, এবং
এটার প্রেজেন্টেশন পাইলে আমি স্যার দেখে নেব।
বাস্তবায়ন করলে এটা ব্রেক থ্রু হবে বাংলাদেশ
ইনশাআল্লাহ। তো কিসের উপরে ছিল স্যার এটা?
ওই যে দেখো, কম্পিটেন্সি বেসড হিউম্যান রিসোর্সেস অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশন।
আচ্ছা স্যার,
এই লেকচারগুলো আমার ইউটিউব চ্যানেলে আমি আপলোড করে দেব।
মামুন আপনি দিয়ে দিন, আমরা ইয়েতে।
হ্যাঁ, দিয়ে দেব, ইউটিউব চ্যানেলে লিংক দিয়ে দিন।
স্যার আমি মিস করছি বিকজ আই ওয়াজ ট্রাভেলিং ইয়েস্টারডে।
বুঝতে পেরেছি তুমি